Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tea with Publicity. It is another beautiful week here. I need to issue a correction. Last week, I kept raving on and on and on about how it's my 50th episode. Poor Alex from my office ordered me a cake to celebrate. Guys, it's my 40th episode.
I'm surprised no one else corrected you.
I'm surprised no one else messaged me and was like, what are you talking about?
Maybe no one realized.
I don't know. I'm sure some people did and were just like, I'm just going to let her be absurd. I have so much to catch you guys up on because I feel like I had a 10-day weekend. Do you ever just have those weekends where it's like a million things in one? I took notes on my phone, and I'm going to update you guys on that. Then I'm going to play for you an interview with Raeann and Kristina. You probably know them from TikTok or Instagram. They are both beautiful, stunning models representing the curvy community. They host a podcast together. They're friends. I had the pleasure of hanging out with them, and I can call them friends of mine now. So I will play that interview after my little intro, then do the Ask Alyssa segment, and then, as always, we will spill some tea. Okay, so let me tell you about my night out with Raeann and Kristina. It was so fun. So we went out. They came on my podcast Wednesday. Then on Thursday night, we went to dinner. We went to Laura Fish Bar, which is like fun, Soho, cute, chic, really, really, really expensive. Like, really took a hit to my wallet. But then we were like, you'll hear us talk about in the interview how like we wanted to be like fun, flirty, single girls. So we went to a bar, and then we went to another bar, and we just kept bar hopping. And then like, it was just fun. Like, it was just a good night out. And like, I always find it really fun to see the city through other people's eyes, like people that don't live here.
Yeah.
Because for them, they're like, oh my God, like this is amazing. And I'm like, you're right. It is amazing. Like, this is so fun. So we bar hopped, we went to Flower Shop, and then we went to, why am I blanking on the name? Spring Lounge. Huge dive bar, like real shithole. Absolutely love it. So we went there, and on our way to the bar, we met up with these other people who are industry friends, Abby, and why do I know nothing right now? Jason. And Jason had his friend visiting from college. So we're walking from one of the bars to the other, and Jason's friend from college, we were all like drinking. So she tripped over something and completely face planted on the sidewalk, and he picked her up. So I've never seen like a recovery this quick. Before she could even lift herself up or like process the fact that she fell, he literally swoosh, like picked her up, lifted her up, put her on her feet. He's like, she's fine. She's totally fine. I'm like, well, are you fine? Like, speak for yourself. Like, and she's like, like she's processing the fact that she literally just face planted. And he's like, no, she's good. Like, let's keep going. And I'm like, what just happened? So Raeann starts laughing so hard that she pees her pants.
Stop.
And she's like, guys, like I tinkled in my pants. And I'm like, no, you, like, I'm picturing like a drop, you know? I'm
like when you say tinkle, it's a literal.
Yeah, I'm like, it's fine. She's like, no, guys, like I'm literally like, I just peed in my pants. I'm like, no, you didn't. So we get to the bar. She goes to the bathroom. She was like, I was using the air dryer to try to dry my pants. Like, guys, they're wet. And I'm like, what? I look. I took a picture of it. She has a huge ring around her crotch. She literally peed her pants. And then she put it on her Instagram story. I put it on my Instagram story. And the next day she wakes up and she's like, I probably shouldn't have put this out there. But like,
whatever.
yes, I did pee in my pants.
That's so funny.
So we just had fun. Like, it was fun being with new people and fun just having like a new energy around me. And then I went home that night and I was drunk, and I booked a flight to LA to go visit them.
Wait, I love that.
Yeah. I'm going to do a long weekend, go visit them. And then it just so happened, I put on like my close friends list, like, hey, who's going to LA these dates? It just so like weirdly happened that like 5 other people I know are all going to be in LA the weekend I'm going to be in LA, and we're all East Coast people.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, what are the chances? So I'm like making group dinners. Like, I'm going by myself, but to be with all these people.
Right.
Like, so I think I'm going to do, this is my idea for my trip. I go Thursday. I land around like 1 p.m. And then I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, leave Sunday. So I think Friday, Saturday is going to be like me days since I am traveling alone. Like I think I'll go on a hike, go to a workout class, sit by the pool, like read some books and just like really use it to have inner peace time.
Yeah.
And then at night, I'm going to go to fun bougie dinners and mingle and network and see people and just make it like a little bit of mix between like fun and chill.
Like vacation/network.
Yeah, because it's kind of like I will be probably staying out late every night, so I'm sure I'll be sleeping in a little, but I just want to like have a nice few days. I really haven't traveled much in COVID, and I'm just like itching to go anywhere that's not in the tri-state area.
Have you ever been to LA?
Yeah, I have a bunch of times, and I actually love LA.
Me too.
I feel like a lot of East Coast people go, and then they're like, ugh, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And I actually feel the opposite. Like I actually absolutely love it.
Yeah. Well, I lived there like 2 summers ago for an internship, and I was obsessed. Like it felt
This
felt
could be
right.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it felt right.
Yeah, I feel like I could see myself moving there.
It's just very hard to be an East Coast person and like fit in there unless you find the right people, and you find people that have like moved there from the East Coast.
I think most people, I was going to say, are friends with other East Coast people.
Yeah, you just have to find the right crowd, and then you'll be good.
Yeah. So, okay, one more funny story that I've literally been laughing about all like weekend. So I was on my friend Amanda's podcast last week.
I know what you're going to say.
Her name, I just found out more. There's more developments. Her podcast and her Instagram is Not Skinny But Not Fat. And we were talking about like her and I have this like ongoing inside joke about Matt James that just like always comes up. And we were talking about Tyler C and how his ankles are always showing because he's always wearing like the cropped pants with the loafer or the shoe with the low hidden sock or no sock. And Amanda can't get past the fact that Tyler C is like this ankle shower. Like she just can't move past it. So we were talking about it, and I was like, you know what someone should do? You know how people have foot fetishes? We should make an ankle fetish page for him. Someone should create an account called Tyler C's Ankles. And like we were just joking about it. All of a sudden, we get tagged. Tyler C's Ankles has been created. And someone listened to the podcast and made an account called Tyler C's Ankles. And it's just all pictures of his ankles showing in different scenarios.
And like none of them have his face in it. It's
That's
they
the best
purposely
part.
cut it out.
It will be like black and white ankles, like ankles with your best friend, and it's like him and Matt James with their ankles out, and then like SNL ankles. And I was just like dying at this.
The true commitment of this person.
And it only follows me, Amanda, and Tyler C, the account. It has 500 followers. Like, that's kind of a lot.
Well, yeah, because Mr. You go ahead and say.
Well, we were posting it. Okay, wait. So then there's more. So then all of a sudden, Tyler C puts it on his story, and he's like, at Jerry the Kid, did you do this? Jerry's my coworker. So I'm like,
wait, I didn't know that they knew each other.
this is why so I'm like, how is Jerry involved in my ankle situation? Like, how did this, I'm like, maybe
It just came like straight full circle.
Wait, because there's a reason.
Go.
So I'm like, maybe Tyler saw me tag him in my story. He saw I worked at Barstool and figured Jerry did it.
But why would they figure Jerry did it? Because he has a foot
Because he has
thing?
a foot fetish. So I hear.
Okay, and so when we had the podcast about the foot fetish, he was not working here yet.
He wasn't working here yet. Otherwise, we would have had him on.
Now we need to have him on.
Also, absolutely love Jerry. Gem of a human. We sit next to each other. We chat all day. But anyway, so I'm like, how's my coworker involved in this ankle account? Like, that threw me for a bigger loop that it was somehow tied back to my coworker. So I just was sitting at my desk, and Jerry's like, oh, yeah, I was FaceTiming Tyler C this weekend, and he was cracking up over the ankle account. I'm like, wait, what? Like, how? I'm like, how did he know it was me, you, whatever? He's like, oh, I sent it to him. Because obviously Jerry follows me. Jerry must have like screenshotted it and texted it to Tyler and was like, yo, you have an ankle account. And then Tyler.
My question is, if you guys know who Jersey Jerry is, if you don't, I just cannot comprehend or wrap my mind around the fact that they are friends. Like, why are they friends? Can you please explain that to me? Like,
all I could tell about Jersey Jerry. I knew nothing about this guy up until 2 weeks ago. Now he's everywhere. And I'm like, I just think he's a likable guy that everyone's obsessed with.
Okay.
Like, I just think he's one of those people that, like, will be on a show with Dave or with someone and then everyone's drawn to him.
Right.
And I have to say, sitting next to him, totally get it. I know his life story. Yes. He sat by me for a week and I know more about him than anyone else in the office. Like, literally his past, his present. He's just a likable, nice person.
Wait, but I just still don't. Just because you're a likable person does not mean you're like going to be friends with Tyler Cameron. Because of all people.
I'm sure Tyler just knows him from working here, and I don't know. I still don't know
because
how
he just started here.
No, but he's been apparently like freelancing for years. Like
here?
He's been in that. Yeah.
Okay.
I know. No, the whole
Maybe
thing.
he just like he's okay. This is starting to make sense.
The whole thing blew my mind. I'm like, how's Jerry involved? But anyway, moral of the story. Tyler C knows about the account. He reposted it. It has a few it has a bunch of followers now. And I feel like a visionary and a genius for basically creating Tyler C's ankles. And the best part is that if you read it fast, it reads Tyler's cankles.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I read it.
It's so good.
Wait, at first I was like, wait, why is this like a cankle thing?
It's just the best thing I've ever. It's just the best thing I've ever heard.
That is absolutely hilarious, and I hope that it continues. Whoever made this account, do you know who made it yet?
No, we have no idea. But their captions are hysterical.
I think whoever this is the right person for the job. We are so happy that you
check
made
it out.
Tyler C's ankles. We really appreciate you. And we hope to see more great content in the future.
442 followers. It says the content you didn't know you needed until now. #free the ankle.
I think that's amazing because especially the fact that he reposted it, because now like everyone who follows Tyler knows that they need this Tyler C's ankles count.
He was like, who did this? And then the caption, this one is just of his ankles and it says, making my way downtown, walking fast, faces fast and I'm homebound. And then there's a picture of him with other guys and their ankles aren't showing, but his are, and it says, when the boys missed the memo. Like, it's so good. Whoever's behind it. Oh.
He does, I will say, rock the ankle showing look.
Well, then everyone's DMing me being like, why am I sexually attracted to his ankles? I'm like, oh my God, why did I make this a thing? He should start an ankle only fan.
I think other guys are going to start wearing pants like that.
Oh my God. So yeah, I'll just end my intro there. But while we are talking about ankles and feet and anything to do with feet, let me talk to you guys about Reef. You heard me talk about them last week. I absolutely love this brand. It's actually a brand I've been wearing probably for, I'm trying to think, like 15 years, 20, so long. And their most popular style is now offered with a soft, very cozy straps, just in time for the fall weather. I have these really cute sandals. They have this like leopard fuzzy print. I'm going to be showing them on my TikTok, so you can go there if you need like a visual for them. And they just make styles that are cute, sustainable, comfortable. And since 1984, Reef has designed innovative and comfort-driven products to celebrate the freedom and fun of the beach lifestyle. So whether you're on the beach or you're just transitioning your wardrobe from summer to fall, they're the perfect shoes to throw on. I think I mentioned this last week, but like I just put mine on when I'm taking out my trash or going down to the lobby to get a package or running next door to get a cup of coffee. I also am one of those people that's like guilty of wearing socks with sandals. I secretly actually kind of like that vibe. But anyway, you can get 20% off your first purchase by going to reef.com/publicity. It's PUBLYSSITY. So now is the perfect time to get yourself some Reefs. And don't forget, you can get 20% off with my code at reef.com/publicity. And now let's get into the interview. Hello, guys. Welcome back. I am here with Raeann Langas and Kristina Zias. I'm so excited because I'm so happy we're doing this in person.
Me too.
I'm so stoked. I'm so excited.
I'm also just like happy you guys are in New York because although like this is our first time meeting in real life, I'm like, oh, my friends are in town.
That's what I
100%.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see Alyssa. Like, and I was like, wait, we actually haven't met in person.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like as if we're like old long lost friends.
Well, we kind of
we
are.
like went to college together. It's totally good. That's how I feel.
It's so funny because I feel like you guys are like the West Coast me.
Yeah.
Like we have like talk about similar things. We have podcasts. And it's just such an interesting world because I don't think like that many Instagrammers like transition to TikTok. And you guys are big on TikTok. And the topics that you guys talk about, like, I just want my followers to get familiar with who you guys are and what kind of topics you talk about on your podcast, on your social media. So you could answer together about your podcast or separately. Just give me like a little debrief on what you guys are about.
Sure. Well, our podcast is the Confident Collective podcast. So our main goal is to help women and inspire confidence in all aspects of their lives. So we kind of, with that theme, kind of touch on everything from like body confidence to career confidence to dating confidence. Like that's a big one for us too. And we are TikTokers, Instagrammers. We've been content creators for like almost a decade.
Yeah.
So we've been in it for a while, right, Ray?
Yes, we've been in for a while, but we knew we had to make the transition to TikTok. And honestly, I fucking love it. It's so much fun.
So fun.
And yeah, we started actually, before we started the podcast, the Confident Collective was like in-person events. We did like monthly fitness events and things because we wanted to we just saw this like need for connection. And when we were like, why don't we do this in real life? Like, let's take it off of social media. And especially with fitness, we found that it can be really intimidating for someone who's struggling with their body to get back into the gym or like go to a workout class by yourself. Like that's
So
terrifying
intimidating,
and intimidating. So we wanted to create an environment where people could just come, and like girls who came to our first fitness events are like best friends now and like hang out, and like it's so cool.
Cute.
It's
So
awesome.
once things are kind of getting more back to normal, we've done a couple posts in the last few months, but we'll hope to do those. And then the podcast is an extension of the brand where we can really just like be even more open and authentic than on Instagram and TikTok, and like go deeper into these conversations that we're having like with each other and with our friends at drinks, like the stuff that we're dealing with as like in our 20s and 30s.
Our podcast is so unfiltered. Like if you want to know who Ray and I really are, like we talk about everything from like sex to microdosing mushrooms to like dealing with parents and like body confidence, and it just, we talk about it all. It's so fun.
I know, and that's why I feel connected to you guys because it's similar. Like I feel like to what I do, and I think there's such a new wave of people being open to talking about mental health and talking about body image, and like you said, even like relationships with your parents and these things that are kind of taboo. And we're all having those conversations with our best friends, but people weren't really taking them online until the last few years or so. And it really is helpful for people because like my favorite podcasts that I listen to are ones where I'm at home and I'm like, wow, I could connect to that. Or that makes me feel seen. So it's good that you guys have created this like collective of women, kind of like how I have the Tea Tribe.
Yeah.
And what do you guys, so aside from that, like what do you see the brand extending into? Is there anything else that you'd love to like do with it?
Well, I mean, this is like something that we've kind of started to do, but I think for us is like we are on a mission to bring women together and empower them. Before the pandemic started, we were actually training with Nike for a half marathon, and we were leading a group of over 30 women to run their first half marathon.
Wow.
Dude,
Yeah,
it was
amazing.
so awesome. So I think more things like that, like, right?
More things like that. Like I'm like, okay, let's go on fucking tour. Like let's do like go across like the United States and like do a fitness event, and then maybe like a live podcast, and then like have some sort of, I don't know, maybe we'll go like start doing trips. Honestly, we have like so many ideas.
So many ideas.
I think it's really cool though to see two women that are friends that are in business together, that like I could tell you guys are authentically friends. Like you hang out together when you're not podcasting or when you're not doing work. And what's it like working with a friend?
I hate, no kidding. No,
this
this is so
terrible.
funny because we were actually just talking about this last night when we were out with some of Kristina's friends. And I was like, I think that, it can be like going into business with friends, I feel like I can go one of two ways. And luckily, Kristina and I just work really well together. I think that like I've always looked up to Kristina too and really valued her opinion and learned from her. And I think she has a way of being like disagreeing if like we don't agree on something in a way that's like super respectful, and like it's always just open. And like I think it just comes down to respect and having that for each other.
Yeah, I think that's like the main thing. I think that we both value each other and respect each other and see each other as equals, not as competitors. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, that's
I feel
so
like my
important.
success is Ray's success and her success is mine. And I think that's just, it's so easy to be competitive with your friends. And like, we literally, we're in the exact same industry. Obviously, we have our podcast together and our business. But
in
like,
competition for the same job.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's like, if Ray gets a campaign, that's amazing. Like I'll help you take your photos for it. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like,
we're like
vice
shooting
versa.
each other in
But
the hotel.
also, don't you find that brands know your friends, so they'll contract you both for the same things anyway?
Yeah,
'Cause
we book jobs together sometimes.
yeah.
Too.
Yeah,
Like it's
exactly.
fun. And like I honestly would rather be doing this with a friend who we can have fun with than like doing it by myself.
Well, because I
It's
always
way more
say it's a
fun.
very isolating industry to
It
not have
is.
coworkers.
Totally.
So it's like nice to have a friend that you could relate with and be on the same page with and bounce ideas off of. And like that's what's been so different for me working here, because although I work at a company, I still kind of like independently work on my brand by myself. So I don't really have coworkers to bounce ideas off of with my brand necessarily. But I have
You mean like the
other-
guys in the office like don't give you good advice?
Sometimes it's so funny. I'll
Are they-
always ask the guy next to me, Kevin, who's been here for like 18 years. He was like one of the first employees. I'll always ask him advice just because he's been around for so long. And it's like of all the people too, it's like asking one of the head honchos. You know, I'm always like, Kevin, like, what do you think of this? And like, I think he's just used to it now.
I love
He's
that.
like, oh my
All right,
God.
like let me know if you need any help. But yeah, it's definitely different. Like before you guys worked for yourselves, were you ever in corporate, or did you ever have a different job? Like, or did you graduate college and go straight into this? Like, what were your paths?
So I graduated college and did a bunch of different things. I was working retail for like 12 years as a personal stylist. I was trying to do TV hosting, so I was hosting podcasts and like doing red carpets on the side.
Wait, is that how you know all the Bachelor people?
Yeah, I used to
Okay.
host a podcast on The Bachelor and on Vanderpump Rules, so I'd interview like all the contestants.
Wait, what
and
was it called?
It was for AfterBuzz TV. It was like,
Oh, that's so funny.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah,
In
I know.
that world.
I'm in that world.
Yeah.
And then while I was working at Nordstrom as a personal stylist, I was in the center of LA and I loved styling. And then I met all of these celebrity stylists and I would assist them. So like the hustle was real. But like what you said, this industry can be super isolating working for yourself. And honestly, I love it so much. But sometimes I'm like, wow, like I miss being able to talk to strangers all day.
Or have like a water cooler.
yeah.
Yeah.
That you could like get up and
Totally.
like have an excuse to walk to, so you're not just sitting all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I went to school in Iowa and then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to move to New York and work for a fashion magazine. I chickened out. And so I worked at a branding agency for 2 years. I wouldn't say it was corporate, but it was like an agency setting. And then I moved to LA. So I was like, I'm going to become a full-time model and content creator. I was like working at a cycling studio. I was like nannying. I was doing 1.5 million things just to like get by.
Yeah, because you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Oh
do.
my God. Yeah. You got to do anything. And yeah, now I've been doing it full time for like 2 or 3 years. I can't even keep track.
I think the one takeaway I hear in everyone that I interview, because everyone's kind of in similar industries, is that you need to work multiple jobs or put in the work to get to where you want to be. Like things don't come easily. I
Yeah.
think it's very rare that you sit down with someone where they're like, yeah, and success just happened overnight.
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't really happen that way. So I think that's like the one nugget that I take away from every single interview. And now talking about like body image and body positivity, what was your self-love journey like? Like, how did you guys start to even say like, oh, I'm going to be a model, but I might not be like a runway model. I might have to be a curve model, or, you know, just kind of like accept, I don't know. 'Cause sometimes I think the terminology is really intimidating around it.
Totally. I mean, I always wanted to be a model my entire life. And like people would be like, oh, yeah, like you have a pretty face. You just need to lose weight, you know? And finally, like
Worst.
I think I was after college. I was like, I met my my now husband, who was my boyfriend, and I was like, he was modeling at the time. He's like, you could do this. And I was like, I need to lose weight. And anyways, make a long story short, I ended up losing so much weight. I worked day and night, like literally that's what I did. And make a long story short, I got down to like a size 4, okay, which was so much work for me. Like that is not my body naturally. It was never like this. And then I went to a modeling agency, and they were like, we want to sign you to our plus size board. And I was like,
God,
what?
4?
Out of 4, which is like disgusting. But anyways, I think for me, it was like such a great lesson because I always had a bigger body and I was insecure in it. But losing weight and being super thin didn't make me happier. It didn't make me more confident. And now I just feel like so much better in my skin.
You were probably just hangry all the time and miserable.
I mean, I was actually
Literally.
eating a lot, but like it just wasn't
Yeah.
natural. Do you know what I mean? Like I couldn't live life. Like I couldn't like go out for a margarita. I like couldn't have birthday cake. I couldn't like I would find myself saying no to things like because I didn't want to go out and then be like, oh, well, I can't drink. And it was just, it wasn't
I can't have the
great.
dessert. I can't have that appetizer. Oh,
Yeah.
can you not cook this in oil?
And
Like,
I'm Greek. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
our entire life, like, is eating and, like, having fun and celebrating.
And I feel like if you have to like think that, if it takes up that much of your brain power to
Totally.
maintain a specific size, like maybe you're not meant to be that size.
And especially when you get to that size and you're like, wait a minute, it was like such an awakening because I was like, my body like does not correlate to my happiness. And I think that's a super important lesson because I think so many people are like, oh, if I lose some weight, then I'll start applying to jobs or then I'll like start going on the dating apps. No, like you need to start like living your life right now
I've
the
been
way you
guilty of
are.
that.
Yeah,
we all have. And I think
like, oh, I'll lose weight if.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll date if.
if I
you
lose
know?
weight, or I'll book that vacation once I get to this size.
But like our bodies change. So like imagine like you finally you lose weight because that was a goal, right? And then you start dating, and now like what? Like you have to like maintain this lifestyle for the rest of your life.
Or it's like you get rejected by a guy and then you're like, oh, wait, I had nothing to do with the way.
Totally.
Like, I just did that all for what?
Yeah.
yeah. And I think Kristina and I have similar backgrounds. Like growing up, we were always like the bigger girl. Like, I mean, I'm 5'11". I'm like, you know,
We're large women.
like like literally, I joke about this, but I will be walking down the street and men will be like, she big.
Yeah.
Like they literally are just like so shocked that, and they like, and
It's so weird because like I don't know if I'm just so used to like seeing women now that are like normal sizes because that's like the people that I follow that I don't even look at anyone being like, oh, they're big.
See, that is super important though because that's amazing. Once you diversify your feed and you're like, wait a minute, like this is normal actually.
Because like I can't even imagine someone saying that.
Yeah.
and it's like I honestly find it funny, but it's just so crazy that this like happens all the time. I think it's sort of like
everywhere.
a height thing too, but like literally it's crazy. But
I do think it's a height thing because my sister's tall but like thin as a rail, and people like she'll go get a pedicure and they'll be like, "Whoa,
How
like,
dare you?"
big feet," or like,
Yes.
she's like, "You make me sound like a freak."
No.
It's like, oh my god, yes, I'm big. I get it. Chill.
One time I was wearing cowboy boots and I'll never forget it because someone looked down at my feet and I was like loving my boots and this guy was like, whoa, your feet are huge. And I was like mortified. I still think
Like-
about it to this day.
Oh my god, but you probably look good in the boots.
They did. They did.
It's so true.
But yeah, I mean, and like growing up, I just like was just felt bigger, and it wasn't until honestly, and I think everyone says this, it's like so cheesy, but I remember Ashley Graham's first ad in Sports Illustrated. It was like her with all these like sexy guys like lusting over her, and I had never in my entire life seen what we would think is like societally acceptable, like attractive men lusting over a curvy woman. Like it was like I was like, wait, what is happening?
Wait, and do you remember Joe Jonas put her in
Yes.
his music video?
Yes,
No, I
and-
don't remember
Yes,
that.
and they were like laying in bed, and like Joe Jonas
Yes.
is like a slight.
He's small.
Small.
Yeah.
He's small.
Yeah.
Like, it was hot. I
And
was
then
like,
he was like, she was the love interest
Wait,
in
I
his
need to
music
watch this.
video, and I was like, yes.
yeah, I can't
that's
believe you've
awesome.
seen that.
I
You need to
haven't.
watch it. But anyway, seeing people like that, it was like, okay, wait, I'm not crazy. Like, you don't have to be skinny or lose weight to be sexy and successful, because I think, as Kristina kind of touched on, for so long we just had I had this false narrative in my head that basically all my problems would be solved if I was skinny.
Yeah.
And that's just not true.
I feel like that's something that therapists work through with clients.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like that doesn't. My therapist always says this thing where she's like, have you ever thought about a time where you felt so good in your outfit and you just felt confident and you walked into a room and you just attracted people around you because you felt like a boss and you felt beautiful? And then other times where you're wearing something that maybe you don't feel confident in and you're looking down and you're hiding and you're fidgeting and you're on your phone, and she's like, you don't look different outwardly, but your energy's different, and you're going to either attract more or less people depending on like the energy that you're putting out there.
I literally couldn't agree more. Energy is literally, it's everywhere. Do you know what I mean? You can see someone walking down the street and be like, whoa, like I want what she's having. Just like based on the way like you stand, the way you carry yourself, the way you feel about yourself. Like it's
And a lot of
so
that comes
crazy.
from like obviously internal. It's not changing what you look like, it's changing your mindset.
So what do you guys do to work on the internal?
Well, therapy. But I mean, it's not anything like, I mean, some people do affirmations, and I mean, I write down like, I don't even know if it would be manifestation. I don't even know. I just like write down
Like goals?
Yeah.
I do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, I think like doing that work, and like I said, therapy, if you can afford it, has been amazing. I need to find a new therapist. But I think it's just realizing, and it's like hard to even explain because it's so complicated, but like just valuing yourself for everything that you bring without taking into consideration anything about you or your clothes or whatever. Just like you, like what can you bring to this world, and that you do have value and that you're fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say like exactly what I do internally. I was like, growing up, I was insecure in my body, but I was always super confident in everything else. And I think that has a lot to do with my parents, because they literally made me feel like if I want to be the president of the United States, I could be the president of the United States. So I'm super lucky that I have role models. Like my dad will text me like, I don't know, like once a week and be like, hey, like when am I seeing you on my TV? I know you can do it. You know what I mean? So I think that support definitely helps a lot. And then honestly for me, like just being physically active is super important for my confidence. Being able to like go for a walk or like work out, I just feel like I just release so much tension and anxiety that I just feel like better about myself.
And what do you guys have to say for the people that, like, I think there's this big misconception that women that are in larger bodies, let's say, don't work out. They're lazy. They sit on the couch. I see you both in the gym busting your ass. I haven't gone in a few weeks because work's been so crazy, but I've gone to a personal trainer for like months. And it's not like I'm physically changing, but on the outside, but I feel stronger. And like health comes from within. Like sometimes you might not look like you work out every day, but you may. Like, what do you guys do to kind of fight that stigma? Because I'm sure you get comments about it.
I mean, I think like what we're doing, like just talking about it and showing it is so important, because this like what we say is like, oh, you don't look like you work out. That's because that's what we've been told a fitness body looks like, because that's what's been represented everywhere, you know, that by athletic brands in movies, TV, whatever. So it's like, honestly, just by us showing us working out is huge. Huge.
Yeah, and doing like our Sweat with TCC, which is what we do with the Confident Collective once a month, and like bringing women together to show them that. I think that we all have to break this narrative that that people work out to lose weight. Like what
So
is that
true.
bullshit?
Like,
Like
it's
you
so-
can work out to be strong. Like you can work out to like have mental clarity. You can work out just because like you want to get out of your house and you want to do
like
something
you're
for
antsy
you,
and you just need to move your body.
You don't just because
There's a hot guy at the gym. You know?
exactly. No, totally.
There's also something about, and I don't know enough about it, but moving your body to like release energy.
Yes.
No, wait, I just heard this on some
Yes.
podcast, I think.
It's like a thing. So
Yes.
basically energy gets trapped in your body. And like, I love my therapist because she's like a hippy dippy person like me. Like she's just like weird with her thoughts,
Love
which is
it.
exactly how I am, like spiritual. And she, sometimes during my session, if I'm like, I'm feeling stressed, the last 5 minutes she'll put on music and she'll be like, turn off your camera, because we do it over Zoom, and she's like, dance it out, and she'll put on a song.
Wait, she sounds amazing.
I know, she's so good. And she'll be like, I just want you to like feel the music and like feel your body, and like it, because energy gets trapped and you have to like let it out.
Wait, this was actually, okay, it came back to me on Brene Brown's podcast. She talked about how like she had guests on, and like when we go through stress or trauma or whatever, like animals like shake it out. Like they use a way better example. Yes, that's like a real thing. And so like as humans, movement has that exact same effect. And one other thing I wanted to say is like when you ask like what tangible things people could do for confidence building, do one thing a day if you can to get outside of your comfort zone, like that, because that is huge. Like even for me, like taking the train from I took the train from like Philly to New York by myself, and I was like so fucking anxious and scared, and like even small things like that build confidence. So I just want to say like
that's true.
It doesn't have to be anything crazy. So
no, that's so true. I think I feel like living in New York, I've learned to do so much out of my comfort zone that it's almost made me so independent. Whereas like I grew up with like Italian parents, overprotective. They would, Mom, I need to go to the doctor. Okay, I'll make the appointment and then I'll come with you and I'll drive there with you, or like, Mom, my laundry needs to be done. Okay, I got it. Yeah. And moving to New York, I'm like navigating the city, especially going to events by myself, showing up to meetings by myself, like just doing things where now I feel like I could conquer the world. Like I've flown to Paris by myself,
And it starts with like going to that meeting by yourself or going to that event and having to go up to someone and be like
getting lunch by yourself.
Yeah.
People are scared to eat alone.
Oh, now I'm like, I think also that's a New York thing because I wouldn't necessarily go make like a reservation at a 5-star restaurant, go eat by myself. But if I was traveling in a different city, of course I would go eat. I don't even think twice about it because in New York, when you're between meetings, that's just what you do. Yeah. If you like have time to kill. I want to talk a little bit about dating because Kristina, you're married.
Yes.
With a baby.
Yeah.
So cute.
Thank you.
And we're single. Me and
yes, we are.
The two of us are very single.
We talk so much about dating.
Yeah.
Well, you've been talking a lot about dating on your stories, and I relate to everything you're saying. Could you talk about when you recently got stood up?
Oh my gosh, that was so
wild.
wild. I actually kind of forgot about that. I like blocked that out. No, so yeah, it was just this guy. We had been like messaging back and forth for like ever too long. But I was like traveling and whatever. And he already added me on Instagram, which I don't usually do before the first date because I
don't like to.
No, if they ask for my Instagram, I like try and come up with something. I'm like, I don't give that out till after the second date. But basically, we had this like date set, and like 5 minutes before I was supposed to leave for the date, he texts me. He's like, hey, running 20 minutes behind. And
okay,
like,
so he confirmed, though. In other words, like, that's him saying, like, I'm still planning to come to the date.
Yes. So I'm like, okay.
But wait, Alyssa.
Right. So I'm like, okay. So but I had already requested my Uber. So I was like, go get there. I ended up getting there like a few minutes after 8 when we were supposed to meet. And I'm like, okay, it was like really weird at this place in LA. You had to order before you like sat down, but then they would come to your table. It was weird. So I was like, I ordered you a margarita. And he's like, no, don't order mine. I don't like melted ice. And I was like, okay, dude, I just like bought you an effing drink
also,
because you're running late.
Yeah,
exactly.
seriously.
I was like, okay, so that already kind of like annoyed me. And then I'm sitting there, and by this point, it's like 8:35, and my friend texts me, and she's like, how is it? And I'm like, dude, he's still not here. And so I texted him. I was like, this is getting dangerously close to my bedtime, ... No response. So by 8:40, so this is already like 40 minutes past when we were supposed to meet. So an extra 20 minutes past his 20 minutes, he said.
Now this is rude.
Yeah. I said, you know what? I'm going to head out because I was just not even going to be a fun date.
He's not even, if I was running late, I would be insanely texting the person.
Totally.
Like, I am so sorry. I'm stuck in traffic and I feel completely awful that this keeps like getting pushed back.
Right.
You know? Like,
no, he didn't even say sorry one time. And so I was like, I'm just going to head out.
Yeah.
I'd leave. I don't know if he shows up, whatever, never responds. By the time I get home, because I go up to my friend, my neighbor, and I'm like talking about, like, can you believe this? And she was like, show me this guy. Pull up his Instagram. He has already blocked me and never responded to my messages.
Dude,
and
so
I'm like,
lame.
what the heck? Like, what? And so I sent him a Venmo request for the margaritas, and it turned out his name was Larry. And I was like,
not his real name on the.
No. I honestly, I don't even remember what his name.
Or something like
Lou.
Lou.
Yeah. Lou. If you match with a Lou in Los Angeles, fucking run.
Did he accept the request?
No, it's still in my thing.
To hit the remind.
I really should.
Wait, you should that. Can you do it right now? Let's see what happens.
No, last time we did something like this on the podcast, it did not end well. So yeah, it's like this stuff happens to everyone, and it's honestly
I've never been stood up though. But in all fairness, he
might
could have shown up.
I think he showed up like after I left and was
he's
annoyed.
pissed, yeah.
But you know what? I don't waste my time. And like, this is what I say for girls who are dating or anyone. I'm like, even bad dates make good stories. So like,
true.
it's kind of fun.
Oh my God, though. It's so tough. So what apps do you use?
Oh my gosh, probably too many. I'm on Raya, Bumble, and Hinge.
How did you get on Riot? Because they won't accept me.
Honestly, I don't know.
And I have this theory that they like don't accept curvy girls because
someone
I'm
else
on
said
there.
that too.
yeah, because they won't accept like me. I don't want to guess. I shouldn't name drop people that I know that they won't accept, but like a lot of people I know.
Really?
Yes.
I think I got on like really early or something because I don't know. But honestly, you're not really missing much. I went on my first.
I hear it's
I've been
awful,
on it
yeah.
for like 2 years, and I went on my first one this week. Like
In New York.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I asked him out because I was like in vacation.
hey,
Raeann,
I'm
I said,
in
hey,
town.
I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm in the city. Let's go out.
Yeah.
Like, but no one has ever asked me out. Like, I really don't think you're missing anything.
No, that's how I hear. It's just like window shopping.
It is. It's weird. I'm like, what's the point?
Okay, so you're on Raya, Hinge,
Yeah, and Bumble.
Bumble. I'm on Hinge and Bumble, but I don't really open Bumble. And Hinge, I proactively just look to see who's liking me.
Wait, okay, so how is the dating life in New York? What do you,
Yeah.
like, what's your
I
experience?
haven't gone on a date in ages, like since in like 3 months.
Are you trying to date? Like, are you swiping? Like,
Well,
what's your
my
status?
mom thinks I should try harder. She literally had a conversation with
I
me.
love
She was
Italian
like,
moms.
I think it's time you put effort into
Oh my
dating.
God.
And I don't disagree. Like, you do have to make it a full-time job.
You put a lot of effort into it, actually.
Yeah. And my mom also made a good point. I don't think apps or anything's taboo at all, but I think to her they're a little more taboo because it's not her generation.
For sure.
And you have to hear her. She's like, all my friends said that their kids met their husbands on the online websites. That's what she calls it.
Online website.
Like Match or something?
And I'm like, the apps? I'm like, no, I know, Mom. Like, everyone meets that way.
Yeah.
She's like, no, but you'd be surprised. I'm like, no, you would be surprised. Like, if that's the only way people date. Like, I don't think you understand. But, yeah, I had recently a bad date a few months ago. And then my thing is there are certain guys that do ask me out. And over and over again. Like,
Do
you know,
you
you
not
have
like
the
them?
repeaters that just keep popping back up. Like, the
Wait,
guys.
it's like the same guy or a
Just
type
like
of
the
guy?
same guys that maybe I've met before,
Okay,
or
yeah.
they just every few months maybe we met on a dating app and we never went out, and they just keep repeating. And
No,
the thing
actually, I've never had that.
Oh, I always have repeaters,
What? Oh, they're sad.
I feel like that means they're interested.
Yeah.
but not enough because they won't make a concrete plan.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm at the point in my life where like I want you to be confident, pursue me. And like, for example, this guy that I matched with, he messaged me. This was like months ago at this point. We've never met. And he was like, I'd love to go out with you. And I'm like, yeah, great. Let me know when. Would just continue to talk, not set a date. Then, hey, I'm traveling. I'll text you when I'm back. Hey, I'm back from my trip. So how's everything been? We should go out
Oh
again.
my gosh, that's so
and it's like he just
annoying.
keeps doing this, and now I'm like, I have no interest in meeting you.
No.
Yeah.
So it's like I will sometimes have people that are like courting me and like keep popping back up, but they're not.
They just want a pen pal. It's weird. A lot of
Yeah.
guys just want a pen pal. And honestly, it's like talk for 2 days, maybe, and then go out.
I 100% agree. And
Yeah.
also, to me, that's unattractive. Like, I want someone that's going to be serious about me.
And pursue you.
And pursue me.
Yeah.
And that is, like, I am a little old school in that sense.
No,
But-
I'm like that too.
But see,
Yeah.
I kind of think that guys, so I feel the exact same way. So I was going on a date in LA like a couple weeks ago, and it was the day of the date, and I had not heard from him. And normally I would just not reach out and not go, as I'm like, he asked me out. He should be like,
confirm.
hey, see you at 8. So my friend was like, but I kind of wanted to get out of this dating rut. So I was like, okay, I just texted him. I said, are we still on for tonight?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we're on. I'll see you at 8. So like, and then it ended up, we were on the date talking, and he was like, tell me about your dating life in LA. And we kind of talk about it, and he talks to me, and he was like, yeah, I've only been stood up once. And it was because I didn't confirm the time with her. And I was like, so wait. And then so I was like, so wait, you showed up and you didn't confirm the time and she didn't come. And he was like, yeah. And I was actually like, he was like annoyed by it. And I'm like, what if I didn't text you? Like, you asked me out, like I'm on her side. And it was just
Yeah.
like awkward. He still didn't think that he needed to like confirm.
I 100% think if I don't hear from a guy before the date,
Right.
I will end up usually texting because I don't want to stand someone up. So I'll be like, if it's like 4 p.m., if it's 3 and you haven't heard from them, they're
Right.
usually not showing up on the date. Like it's not happening. But I will usually just send a text because I'm like, okay, I need to know for myself
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
happening because I need an answer.
But I don't understand why they
And wait,
just,
what do they normally say though? Are they like, oh,
Either
yeah.
they're like, oh, I'm stuck at work, or
Ew.
like,
Ugh.
but I do that to people too. So I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna lie. Like, sometimes you just don't want to go day of, and you're like, oh,
I've never canceled a date.
oh, I'm awful.
No,
Alyssa?
you are putting out bad dating energy.
Yeah, girl, what are you doing?
this is
Your
what-
mama's right.
This is what happens. I go on the apps and I'm like, I'm going to be more open-minded. Like, I'm going to swipe on people that aren't my usual type because I'm trying to be more open, and I'll end up doing that. And then like, we'll talk. And then in my head, I'm like, I hate this person. Like, I don't even know why I got here because like, I'm trying to be open, but then I'm just like,
But are you trying to be open just like physically, or is it like
everything, different jobs that I normally would have swiped past.
I think you need to meet them in person.
I think so, too.
Yes.
I do.
you need to just do it at least a couple times, because even if they're so not your type and you're like, wait, this was lame, if it doesn't work out, at least you start getting into like that like mojo and like that
Yes.
feeling of dating and like being like, wait, okay, this is like kind of a mental block I'm giving myself. I need to like just get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And honestly, even if you go on a date with someone who's like so not your type, one, they might totally surprise you, or two, like at least you'll have a fun story, and at least you'll like hopefully be taken out to dinner and like just like I said, like get back into like that groove, you know?
No, I agree.
Well, it was so funny because we were at dinner last night and everyone at the table was married and everyone was like, I hated my partner on the first date. Like everyone except
Yeah,
for you.
that's true.
Except
But
me.
a lot of people were like, no, I didn't want to even go on a second date.
Yeah.
And now they're like obsessed with their
That is
partners.
funny. Yeah.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think dating is a weird thing. And I think probably because you're visiting New York, if you were to go on Bumble, you'd be like, oh my God, everyone's hot. Whereas now I'm like, I loathe every single person on this thing.
See, I set my Hinge to New York like a week ago before I got here and was swiping to like prepare, whatever. And I honestly was like, the only place where I have gone where I have been like, whoa, was Denver.
Oh, everyone, Menver.
Denver.
Do we do a girls trip to Menver?
Seriously.
Girl, that's where I'm from. Let's go.
Oh my God. I
Yes.
hear Denver has the hottest guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the only
Okay,
place.
but every other city I've been in that's not New York, like when I go to visit my friend in Charleston, when I went to Austin on a bachelorette party, I had men messaging me on like Bumble being like,
Like,
what
left
are you
and
doing
right.
today? Want to come to my boat? Hey, want to hang out? Hey, I'll come to the bar and meet you. Like throwing themselves at me. And in New York, I can't even get a match.
Okay. but
Okay,
I
my
know you're gonna
vacation
say-
theory.
Yes.
So,
Totally.
okay, I've like literally am very a firm believer in this, that when we're on vacation, we're like our best selves. We're more
the
open.
energy.
We're,
Yes.
we're
The
more
energy you're
carefree.
putting
We're
out.
energy. And even through an app, I really do think people pick this up. And dating on vacation is always more fun.
And it's easier.
And it's easier. So, like, honestly, if you move to that city, it might not be that way. But
Totally.
because you're in your, like, Alyssa vacation mode, like, vacation, like, it is just
I get what
always
you're
more.
saying.
Like, think about when you're on vacation, right? And you see a cute guy, you're not worrying about like what job does he have, like this or that, like where does he live? Am I gonna like his apartment? Do I want to like have to date someone who like lives across town? Like, do you know what I mean? You're like all those like little things that you tell yourself every single time you're swiping right. You're not saying that.
That's
you're like
so
so much more
true.
open-minded and carefree.
You know what it is? I think I need to go out more, like to bars.
Yeah.
Which I've been trying to do. It's definitely.
If I move here, I'll go with you.
No, we'll go tomorrow after dinner.
Yeah,
Let's go to
definitely.
a bar.
Yes.
Yeah, we're down.
Yeah, I've been just trying to live my life more because I've never put pressure on dating in the sense that I'm like, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. Like, I do believe I'll have a husband. I do believe I'll have a family and I'll meet someone. And like, I am fine actually going after what I want. Like, if I like someone, I will completely go after them. I'm not like passive in that sense. It's just I haven't really met anyone that I'm like, I'm pursuing you. What about like your husband's situation? Like when you met him, was it instant?
It was pretty instant, actually. I mean, he's pretty much my first real serious boyfriend. I met him right when I graduated college, and I was working as a cocktail waitress. Make a long story short, he like approached me that night and was like, I want to take you out to dinner. And then I remember he texted me as soon as he left, and he was like very good at courting and pursuing me. And he'll tell all my friends, and he'll like tell Ray too. He'll be like, if a guy likes you, you will know.
Oh,
he
my
will
dad
make the
says
effort.
this.
He will let you know he likes.
Yep.
So we like dated for honestly maybe a month. And things got pretty serious. Like our third date, he took my brother and I to like Six Flags. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he met my family pretty early on. And then like a month into dating, we ended up traveling around Italy together for like a month.
Oh, fun.
It was like this like whirlwind romance. And then I think my favorite thing about him is that he's just pretty like spontaneous and adventurous. And I'm definitely like that. Like I woke up one day and I was like, I think I need to move to LA. And he was like, okay, let's do it. And like literally a month later, we were living in LA.
Fun. I
Yeah.
need that energy in my life.
Yeah. I think we're a good match.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
he drives me crazy sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Like,
Yeah.
my relationship is not perfect. Like, sometimes we
course.
want to kill each other. But he's super supportive. Like,
I almost started crying in our cab the other day because there's this long ass message on Christina's phone. I'm like, what is that? It was Steve sending her all these business ideas and videos ideas for TikTok and stuff. and I was like, I was literally like, oh my god,
That makes
I was
me
like,
emotional.
what?
Well,
He's so
but
supportive.
I was telling Ray, I was like, it's nice to hear that perspective
Mm-hmm.
because I don't appreciate that sometimes. And I am trying to get better at that because
Well, you just don't realize because you're used to someone just being sweet all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
We're out here and we're like, oh my god.
I'm like, oh my god, he looked at me. No, so I have a new coworker, Alex, who I've become friends with, and her husband Graham is so sweet. And like, I had one of those moments the other night. We were out, we went to dinner, and he was with us, and then we went to a bar after, and he was like, like, you guys go have like your girl time. Like, I'm not in the mood to go to the bar. Like, I'll go home. But when we left the bar, he was waiting outside. Like, he's such a gentleman. He's from
Oh my
Oklahoma. He was
gosh.
like, I didn't want to go sit inside. It was a nice night. So like, I was just like gonna walk you guys home, like to make sure we got home safe. And then I was like, oh my god. And,
Okay,
like,
that's so sweet.
So listen. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get an Uber. Walks me to my Uber, opens the door, puts me in the Uber. I was like, chivalry isn't dead.
Yeah.
Do we need to go to Oklahoma?
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah, they're like,
maybe.
it's just an Oklahoma thing. I'm like, must be nice. Like,
Oh
he
my
treated
God.
me better, and he's my friend's husband.
I'm raising my son to be like that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
He's going to be a
Right?
gentleman. Yeah.
Like, just so nice. And I'm like, it sounds weird, but when people do things like what your husband just did or what Graham did, it actually gives me hope versus being like jealous. It makes me like, oh, it's not desperate out there. There are good people out there still.
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
100%.
But sometimes it feels helpless.
Yeah.
You got to go through a lot, you know? You got to
Yeah.
go through a lot, and you'll just have really funny stories.
But also,
that
you
can
can't
tell.
like you have to put yourself out there no matter
I
what.
know,
You
that's
can't
the thing.
expect like someone as amazing as it sounds. Like you can't expect someone to be like delivering a package here and be like your dream person. Like that's how you're gonna meet them.
so
Do you know what I
true.
mean?
Or like reach for the same piece of like broccoli in the supermarket.
exactly at Whole Foods, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
but
But,
like
like,
in the organic vegetable.
Every time I
aisle.
leave the house, I think like of every scenario that could happen. Like, like it's actually
I
messed up.
kind of like though that it's top of mind for you because I feel like that means you're open to it. Whereas like I don't even think like that. I go out of the house looking like a bum. I'm like whatever. Like,
But that's when everyone's like, it's gonna happen
know,
when you're
I
not looking.
no, you have to like manifest that and put that energy out
Yeah,
there.
you
Do you know what I
do.
mean? Thursday night, we party.
Thursday night we are going out. We're
Yeah.
making out.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know, I just need to have like a spontaneous like bar make out, COVID and all. I can get.
Wait, I saw this TikTok where this guy was like, "What are you
I
most
love that
excited for, like post pandemic?" She's like making out with a stranger. I was like, "Yes, yes."
so funny.
Sometimes you just need it to get your mojo back.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
You know, it's just in the air.
Okay, I'm on the mission to be like your best wing woman.
All right, we're
Me
going
too.
and vice versa.
Okay,
we're going out.
Yes.
I
Okay.
got you, girls. I'll help
think of a
court
spot.
them.
I'll think of a spot. We'll be in Soho, so we could like just bop around. This was so fun, though.
So
I'm
fun.
so excited we were able to make this work, and hopefully, you guys, you move here soon. Is my goal for both of you. I would
Likewise.
hope.
I'm manifesting that right now.
I'm like, Kristina, if you move here, then I'm probably going to be pretty close behind you.
I love
And then
it.
we could do little meetups and stuff together.
Yes.
I know the Tea Tribe and the Confident Collective can do something
oh my gosh,
together.
That's like a match made in heaven.
Oh my god,
I know.
They would be obsessed.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Where could everyone follow you? The podcast, all of that.
You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's Kristina Zias, Kristina Zias, and the Confident Collective podcast. we're everywhere you can listen to podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Raeann Langas on Instagram and TikTok, RaeannLangas.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Okay, guys, for this week's Ask Alyssa, I thought we would do something funny because usually, as you guys know, like I give advice, but this week, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you're missing out on maybe one of the best things that I think I do on social media, which is where I ask people to submit something scandalous. And it's always when I'm on a train too. Like, I don't know why this has become my train thing, but whenever I'm on a train and I have time by myself and I'm on my phone, I tell people, ask me something scandalous, and it gets absolutely freaking wild. It makes me question my love life, my parental life, if I should ever get married, if everyone cheats. Like, it really just tears me up inside. So people love it. And I just think people love hearing other people's like dirty laundry or like baggage.
I'm just shocked because I feel like this is all stuff that's happened in TV shows. And the fact that real people are submitting these things to you blows my mind.
Well, someone DM'd me and they were like, the trust the T-Tribe has in you to trust you with their life.
Yeah, like if anything, you could
insane.
literally go find their husband and DM them, hey, your wife's cheating on you, but I know you would never.
And I want you guys to know, like, I don't know why, because I'm just not a nosy bee when it's someone I don't know. Like, let's say, like, I know you well and you told me something, then maybe I would dig. But I don't know these people. So, and most of them have private profiles. Even when people write in for Ask Alyssa, I don't snoop on their profiles. I don't go through. I don't snoop about it.
You're
so,
a safe space,
I am a
Alyssa.
safe space because I really don't even go look.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I kind of feel like, it sounds weird, but because I say I'm keeping it anonymous, it's kind of anonymous in my mind too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even look at their names. Like,
You don't want to do that either, because if you're going to give them advice, then you're going to start
I just
thinking
don't
about
want to
what they-
know. Yeah. Like, I really try to actually keep it anonymous. So I am a safe space for you guys. But it's so funny because it also just shows me that, like, every single person is capable, even if you're an amazing person, of cheating or doing bad things. Like, we all just at the end of the day have animal-like impulses.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think that, like, anybody out here would say, like, you know how people say, like, I would never cheat, and then cheating happens? It's because, like, there are situations where people are, you know, are out of character, and they just, there's something happens.
Yes,
and they
yeah.
cheat, and, like, doesn't mean that you're an intended, like, cheater. It just happens in life, and, you know, you're in situations where you meet someone. It just, like, happens. So
It also makes me be, like, really cynical being after I read these, and I'm like, at the end of the day, like, I think about it as like a really primal thing. I'm like, we're just all animals, and society's a social construct, like, telling us that we need to get married and be monogamous for our whole lives.
Yeah.
When if you think about it, we're animals and we have impulses, and like, people cheat because we like the hunt and the prey and the kill and the this and the that, and like, we're freaking animals, but society tells us we need to be married.
I agree.
Also, like, again, I'm not excusing cheating or anything. I'm just saying this is the dark place these stories make my head spiral into. Because I'm like, no one's safe. No one's loyal.
I mean, that's literally what these things make me
Yes,
feel now.
I know.
Now I'm, like, scared to get into a relationship.
Someone texted me. No, a few people texted me. They were like, I'm enthralled in this, but I am having the worst Sunday scaries. Okay, so I'm going to read some of them to you guys. And also, when I respond, I try not to judge people because they are opening up to me. So I never want to be like, oh, you're bad for doing that. So I just try to be like, do you, boo?
Yeah.
This person said, hooked up with one of my roommates' situationship when she left for the weekend. I just wrote, girl, you bad. It depends. Like, I wonder if she's close with the roommate. Not that it's great either way, but, like, is it a roommate that you met on Craigslist, or is it a friend that's your roommate?
I don't know.
You know, because that's different.
I wonder
feel.
if this person is in college. I feel like a lot of that happens in college.
This person said, fell in love with someone while I was married.
This breaks my heart.
Okay, so part of me wonders, like, the only place I could picture falling in love with someone if I was married is, like, at work. Like, where else are you interacting with people so much that you'll fall in love with someone?
You're right.
Unless you're seeking to cheat. Like, unless you're actively at a bar and you start talking to someone and then you get your number. But I could picture an emotional affair happening. Like, say you have a business partner who you're really attracted to and you travel all the time together. I could see where an emotional affair could happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Been hooking up with a guy for a month. He hasn't mentioned dating / exclusivity. What do I do? Okay, so here I'll give my advice. I said a month really isn't that long for them. Like, if you're not exclusive after a month, I don't think that's a deal breaker.
It really depends on how much they're hanging out. If they're hanging out every day and they're getting like meals together, but like,
that's true.
As a situationship, I don't know if they are doing that.
This isn't the situationship one. That was the one before.
Oh.
This one just, I
Sorry.
know. They're all getting.
She is in a situationship though.
Well, yeah,
like, technically,
but
she
hooking
didn't
up with
call.
a guy.
Yeah. So I personally think that if you're hanging out all the time, then it makes sense why she's thinking that. Otherwise, if you're hanging out like once or twice a week and you're just having sex, like that's a different story. Yes, it's definitely too soon to like be worrying about that.
Totally. It's like these people that go to Bachelor in Paradise and they get married after 3 weeks because they're spending 24 hours a day together for 3 weeks versus.
But that's even then.
No, I agree.
I wouldn't even.
I agree, but you're spending every day together.
Yeah.
Versus with no phones, no uninterrupted time versus dating 3 weeks in the real world or maybe seeing each other. Oh my God, I can't speak. You're maybe seeing each other 3 times within 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it depends. Have you seen this guy 4 times or are you really dating? I said don't give the milk for free. Like if you want to be treated like a girlfriend, then act like a girlfriend.
I've never heard that saying before.
What?
When I saw you post that on your story, I was like, Alyssa,
What? You're too young.
What does it mean?
Oh my God, they always say
give your titty milk?
No. Oh my God, I wonder if other people were confused. Don't give the milk for free. You've never heard that?
No, it sounds like you're saying like don't let them suck on your titties for free.
Wait, I'm Googling don't give the milk for free. Origin. The milk.
Like what does the milk stand for?
Okay, don't give away the milk for free. I think it's about like, oh, why buy a cow when you can get milk for free? No. Idiom. Okay, idiom. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? What does why buy the cow when you... Meaning, this idiom is usually used to refer to men who don't want to get married when they can get all the benefits of marriage without getting married. Yes, it's used when it's like... You ever hear like, why give the... Isn't there a cake saying too?
Yeah, like you can't have your cake and eat it.
Yes, you can have your cake and eat it too. It's that.
Okay.
It's basically like if you can get the milk for... If they can get the milk for free...
Then why would they... Yeah.
Why are they going to wife you up or ask you to be their girlfriend if you're just giving it to them for free? You have to make them work for it.
Okay.
I'm dying. I wonder if that's a generation thing.
No, I'm sure like everyone knew it was a saying, but when I saw that, I was like, I've never heard
that's
this saying.
So funny. So yeah, so basically I was saying to her, like, if you want to be treated like a girlfriend, then don't act like a hookup.
Yeah.
You know? I think
I
that
agree.
makes sense in most like situations.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of 2 different guys the last time I had sex with my boyfriend. And I said, I bet this is way more normal than you think. Like, I bet a lot of people fantasize about other people.
You know what?
I don't think I, like, do that necessarily.
I've never done that except one time I was hooking up with a guy and it was like really dark in the room and he like in the dark looked like this famous person that I kind of knew of that was kind of hot. And so I was like, oh my God, like I'm literally hooking up with X famous person. I'm freaking out. That was like the one time that I've done
Yeah,
that.
like but I think if you're dating someone, it's different. If you're married to someone and like you're married 25 years, think about Ben Affleck. Like you're fine. That's not cheating.
But what if you're thinking about like your neighbor, like or someone you've been? I don't know. I feel like.
But at least you're not physically cheating. Like
Yeah.
I think the mind is a crazy thing.
I just think that like humans are not made to just like maybe soulmates are not a thing, and I don't know because
so cynical.
Well, I want to believe that like. Sure, there's a soulmate out there, but like my parents have even said like, oh, we don't know if we're soulmates, but we just work together and we love each other and that's why we're married. Like, what if they're not? There could be someone better out there, but there's literally billions of people in this world.
I believe in like fate and like meeting someone and them being your person. But I think people could be your person for a time being.
Yeah.
Like, I think, let's say you have a partner and then they fatally, like, pass away or something. That doesn't mean you can't find another partner.
Right.
Or
That's a
what
good
if
example.
what if I moved to Italy and I met a husband? Or what if I stay in New York and meet a husband? Like, you're still going to meet people. But I think fate puts you in the right place at the right time to meet the person you're supposed to meet.
Yeah.
But I think you can meet people multiple times.
This is just reminding me of, have you been watching the new season of You, or have you even watched it at all?
I'm too scared.
Yeah, you would be too scared. But it's funny because they're both, like, this is not really a spoiler alert, but they both, like, their husband and wife, and they're both psychotic and they kill a lot of people. And they think that because they have these, like, same tendencies that they're soulmates. But then they kind of realize, like, just because, like, we do the same things and we can share it with each other because we're both psychotic
yeah.
doesn't mean, like, you're my person.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Also, okay, actually, I'll talk about it in the Spill the Tea segment because I do have a TV thing. So, yeah, I don't know if it's... Okay, I kind of feel like thinking about someone else while you're having sex with your partner is like watching porn.
I agree. I don't think that's not cheating.
Like, to me, yeah, like porn, I don't believe porn is cheating.
Some people do, though.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Like, the person isn't... I don't know how to describe it. You'd be lying to yourself if you weren't having ever fantasies about anyone else.
Yeah.
Is how I feel.
Yeah.
Except when I was in high school and, like, I would, like, catch a boyfriend, like, watching porn. I'd be like, this is disgusting. Now I'm an adult, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
It just makes sense. It's also like watching a TV where two people have sex. Like, what's the
like,
deal?
we watch Sex Life.
Yeah, exactly.
Our boyfriends aren't yelling at us.
Exactly.
Okay, this person said, I just ended an emotional relationship with my old manager. I said, good. Never a good idea to mix business with pleasure. Emotional relationships are sometimes harder than physical ones to break. And I do believe that. Like, again, if you're traveling with someone and they're your manager or your boss and you really get to know them, like you're on planes and you're on trains and you're at dinners and you're talking, to me, like I could see where that could happen. And I think that's almost worse because then you're like mourning a friend or like a confidant when you end things. Versus like just a physical thing.
Right.
This one was the one that was cracking me up because I was like, this person's Gen Z and cooler than me. Slept with an Addie in the office while I was an intern.
Do you know what that means?
Attorney.
Yeah, okay.
That's what someone said after.
The way you said it sounds like you're saying like Adderall or like address.
It's ATTY.
Yeah, it's just an attorney. Yeah, just
that's
short.
why I was cracking up because I slept with an Addie in the office while I was an intern. Turned into a 5-year sneaky link. And I was like, you're way cooler than me. And you know when you guys know when you hear something, like someone says something once and then you hear it 5 times later that day.
You probably. Well, there's a TikTok trend with the song "Sneaky." It's like,
is that why?
Yeah, there's just like I'm just a sneaky link or something like that, and it's like either a dance. I forget if it's a dance or just.
But
like
I didn't notice what it was, and then I read this, and then last night I keep hearing sneaky link and sneak, and I'm like, oh,
I think
this is
that's where
a thing.
I think that's where it started.
The
Not
one-
where it started, but why people are using it so much.
And then I'll do one more before we go to the Spill the Tea segment. This is the one that took the world by storm. And my DMs were just, everyone was blowing them up. This person said, sexting my husband's best friend for years. Though through both weddings, babies, and more, we both can't stop. So her husband's best friend, she's married to the husband's married, they both have kids, they both have families of their own. I had a lot of follow-up questions and she wrote back with more. She said, it's been 8 years. We both bonded over being unhappy back then in our long-term relationships. There was so much tension from the beginning, and then we admitted it is way easier to deal with / she said, okay, I want to re-say this because I want you to edit it for Ask Alyssa.
Okay.
She said there was so much tension from the beginning, and when we finally admitted that there was tension is when it was easier for us to deal with / be in the same room. Yes, things have happened. 8 years is a long time. Lots of family trips, shared hotel rooms for the couples, etc. Hallways, closets, and stairwells all have a new meaning now. The worst is when we stay at each other's houses. It's been a wild ride, and we have beautiful families that would fall apart over this. It's just like we're in too deep at this point. Probably doesn't make sense to anyone else. And we talk almost exclusively over Snapchat. Literally so cliche and lame. So then I had more follow-up questions because everyone was DMing me like,
wait, so she hasn't hooked up with him? They talk about it.
They have. She basically said, because she said, She said, yes, things have happened. 8 years is a long time. And then that hotel hallways, closets, and stairwells all have a new meaning.
Oh my God.
And then I said, 1, why didn't you give it a shot when you were both unhappy in your relationships? 2, is it just sexting now or an emotional relationship too? She said, we didn't give it a shot because it's his best friend from middle school, so we'd be blowing up our lives. And then even if we did get together, his family would have never approved of it / supported it. So we always said shit like, in another life. And it comes and goes in waves for both of us, I'd say. Definitely emotional, but also just about the rush from a scandalous dirty pic burning a hole in your pocket. Also, we both can be kinky with each other and not in our actual relationships.
I have no words.
Shook.
And it's like, obviously cheating is horrible, but sometimes like people, I don't know. I get it. I get what she's going through.
Well, it also kind of makes me sad that she says in another life, because it's like, to me, it sounds like they really do actually want to be together, but they're just in too deep and now they can't. So they're sneaking around. Like, I wonder if they're soulmates.
That's a good question.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But because of these like other circumstances and they just got in too deep, if now they're with the wrong people.
Yeah.
But it's also really sad because it's like, hopefully, I pray for their sake, it never gets out, because I think that's like sad for the children. You know, to figure, oh, my mom, like,
especially
think about
because
your parents and your parents' best friends, and then picture 2 of them hooking up.
Well, my mom actually had friends that went through that.
I've known a bunch of couples actually that have, like, through people. But picture, having a friend.
Well, my mom actually had a friend that it was like the 2 couples were hanging out, and then the girl became like lesbian for the other girl.
But were they both mutually lesbian or no?
Like they like realized through each other, I think, because they both had husbands.
Wow, that's scandalous.
And then I think they broke up to be together.
Wow. Yeah, see, stuff like this happens. But you know what I can't get? Like, I can't understand the people that there's like couples I've heard of like through the grapevine, or like people like regurgitate stories, or even in movies where, like, let's say my sister, geez, I don't even want to say this. Like, let's say something happens to my sister and then I marry her husband. Do you know what I'm saying? Have you heard stories of people do? I feel like it happens in movies and stuff where people start dating.
Because, like you said, with like the whole work thing where you don't think you can find someone to have an affair with, it's because you're around them so much.
I'm sorry. I would never go for my sister's husband.
Well, obviously not.
Well, I know, but it happens. It like really, really happens. Like, I can't picture being attracted to someone that was like married to my sister.
I don't know how that happens.
It's a thing I've heard about. Like, just like I really feel like it's even played out in TV shows and stuff. But yeah, we've gotten a little off topic. But anyway, moral of the story: everyone cheats.
Stop. That makes me like so upset.
No, it's really sad.
Knock on wood, I've never been cheated on. Not that I've like been in a relationship deep enough where I have that opportunity.
I'm so grateful I'm ignorant to the cheating on that's happened to me. Like, I don't know if it's happened.
Yeah.
But I think one boyfriend cheated. But we weren't really a boyfriend. This is the thing. He wouldn't call me it was in high school.
Oh, so that doesn't count.
He wouldn't call me his girlfriend because he was like, but we were dating because he probably wanted to hook up with other girls.
Okay, well, I'm not going to lie. I had a boyfriend for like 2 months in high school, but he was a freshman and I was a junior. So it was already embarrassing enough.
Yeah.
And I was like ready to, like, it wasn't working and I was like planning on like ending it, but like I hadn't yet. And I was in New York City for like Fleet Week, which is when like all the like US Marines.
Oh, I know.
And me and my friend were in the city and we were like so drunk and I ended up like making out with another guy.
With the Marine.
And she had also had a boyfriend and she made out with the Marine too. And ultimately, I told the boyfriend I felt so guilty.
You guys want to hear the most crazy thing? Sorry.
Please.
How did he react?
So I was like, okay, like I'm ready to break up. And I told him about it and we spoke about it in person. And then for some reason that day, like we just like he forgave me, and I decided I still wanted to be with him after he forgave me, and we like got closer that day in a weird way. But then oh my god, then there was like trust issues, and then you're gonna freak out. He got a burner phone number, pretended to be
The Marine.
And he texted me and was like, hey, I'm going to be back in town. Like, would love to like get a hotel room with you and stuff. And I was like, I'm not having sex with you. Like, whatever. Like, I'm also back with my boyfriend. And he was like, well, do you regret it? Like, asking me all these questions so that.
To try to hook, line, and sinker. Like,
and then all of a sudden, my boyfriend texts me and goes, I can't believe you said you didn't regret it. I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, that was me. I was like, I'm done with you.
See, this is where cheating really creates trust issues.
And by the way, because they are so fucking hilarious, I still have the voicemails from my high school boyfriend sobbing, being like, I'm so sorry I did that. I didn't mean to.
I love that you still have it.
Like, I'm going to play them for you later. They're so funny.
Okay, so something weird happened to me. I came to New York for, I think it was St. Patrick's Day. Like, again, one of those like Fleet Week kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, came
where
to the
everybody's
city.
in the city.
I was in college, so we went to school in Connecticut, so we would just take the train in. And I had just broken up with my Canadian boyfriend, Steven, because I wanted to be able to make out with people on spring break.
Where did you find a Canadian boyfriend, Steven?
A hockey player.
Okay.
He was a gem. So
Shout out, Steven.
So I'm so embarrassed if this is going to get back to him. Everything I say gets back to everyone. So anyway, so we had just broken up, but like I was still kind of going back and forth between like, I still kind of like him because I kind of like rushed the breakup because of spring break. But like, I don't know. So I think I just didn't see it going anywhere because we lived in different countries. So I was like, I might as well just pull the plug now before summer.
Yeah.
But I still liked him. So like, I think St. Patrick's Day, we were hanging out in the city doing the bar crawl, like arm in arm. And we were still like in contact. And when we get back to the city that day, back to school, I get a FaceTime from his phone number. So I open it. This is disgusting. And it is a man not speaking English. And it's just his penis. And he's just playing with himself on camera.
Wait, from your
He lost his phone in the city. Like he must have like either it got pickpocketed or he was drunk and he lost his phone. Someone picked up his phone and I was probably the last person in his call log. And someone FaceTimed me and kept FaceTiming me pictures of them pleasuring themselves. Your face. And I was like, what is like picture thinking it's your boyfriend, but like it was like a hairy like
imagine you thought it was your boyfriend. You're like, yeah, maybe.
No, I could tell because he was speaking a different language, and he was like saying something. No, I think it was like his face kind of in it, and I was like, ah! Like I started screaming, and I hung up, and he just kept calling me and it was FaceTimes. So then one time, me and my friends covered the camera so he couldn't see me back, and we picked up the call, and we're all like, ah!
What is the purpose?
I don't know. Like, what is that? Like, what? I was like, so then I'm like trying to call his friends. I'm like,
did you get the phone back?
Like, Steven, someone's masturbating on your phone. Like, you need to get your phone back.
Ew, I wouldn't even want my phone back at that point.
No, he like had to cancel it. So like, only me does this stuff happen to.
No,
like,
yeah.
I swear these things just follow me through life.
Yeah.
Oh man, good old Steven back in Canada. All right.
Shout out to you, Canadian Steven.
I think we'll get into the spill the tea segment now. That took enough of a few turns. Okay. What I was going to say, where I stopped myself because I was going to say it in the spill the tea segment, is that, you know how I kept saying I can't watch, what's that Hunger Games show? The shooting one. The Korean shoot.
Oh, Squid Game.
Squid Game. You know how I said I couldn't watch Squid Game because I'm too scared?
Yeah.
I decided last night, like, let me just watch the preview because I'm just curious. I watched the preview, 30 seconds. I had insane nightmares last night. I woke up thinking of some twisted stuff. And I was like, this is why it's my subconscious. It's like watching it, I'm fine, but subconscious when I go to sleep, then I'm thinking of guns and murder. Like I can't.
Yeah. I've had that before.
I just know myself with scary stuff. My brain won't shut it off when I go to sleep.
Well, for me, it's like I can watch it and then it's not even that it happens in my nightmares. It's like when the lights are off in my apartment and I'm like going to get some water, then I start to get scared that like somebody's in my closet or like it's something.
Oh my God,
that.
I check behind like the shower curtain.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm not going to be watching Squid Game, because I literally watched the preview and wanted to die. Like I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about what happened with Alec Baldwin. I just Googled, CNN posted an article because I want to know what the latest is, so we're up to date here. First of all, this was Thursday night that this news came out when I was out with Raeann and Kristina, and I'm drunk at the bar. My friend Abby was like, "Did you see Alec Baldwin shot someone and killed him?" And I was like, "What? I'm too drunk for this right now." I'm like bogging out. She's like, "You got to go break the news," because she knows I do celebrity news. I was like, "No, I can't. Like, I'm drunk. I don't know what's happening." I am sick over it for him. Like, I don't even understand really how this happens. Like, I did link to this TikTok on my Instagram story of this guy explaining, I guess he's like a prop producer, and he was explaining how sometimes when you do load the gun but with blanks, so when they shoot it still makes the noise and it still has like the dust and the effect, but I guess there's like shards of bullet or like shards of the casing that can get stuck in the chamber of the gun. So sometimes when you go to shoot the blanks, it could shoot out some of the shards that are stuck within the chamber. And that's what this guy seemed to think happened. Like, it was not completely shooting blanks.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope that it's best case scenario that nobody's like putting real bullets in there to try and get somebody shot. Like, obviously, I don't really think that that's the case. Hopefully not. I just am heartbroken that like obviously like he didn't intend to do it, and just like imagine living with that guilt and just feeling he must feel so
they
horrible.
say CNN says a crew member on the set of Rust, Sergei Svetnoy, says the death of the cinematographer on set was a result of negligence and unprofessionalism.
My question is, were they recording to try and get a shot, and then like the cinematographer is the one holding the camera, so it's like, was he like aiming at the?
That's what I was thinking. Like, maybe they were trying to get a head-on shot,
or was he just like, hey, look at this prop gun, and shooting it around?
No, I don't know. I mean, we don't know, but my guess would be he was maybe doing a shot like towards the camera, like they were getting an angle, but like it's just unfair for him because like his life is forever ruined. And I know that's a strong word to use, ruined, but like he will live with this forever. Yeah. Even though it was an accident, I'm not saying he should live with guilt. I'm saying he's going to live with trauma of knowing that a tragedy occurred and he was part of it. And it's so unfair for him that like he has to live now with this trauma from something that could have been avoidable, and also something that was so unintentional. Like, that is just awful to me because I would be so sick over it.
Oh, beyond. I mean,
my life would be ruined forever.
It's hard that like you work so hard to like be in a professional environment. Like, he's a great actor and, you know, probably
takes his job seriously.
Yeah, and like that he was in an unprofessional environment just this one time, and that he has to, I mean, I hope he's not getting blamed in a sense of like people are getting mad at him for this. Like, I hope people don't think that he intentionally did anything, but it's still something that you have to live with. It's just so sad.
It's really awful. Yeah, it just makes me sad, and I feel bad for her family. And then the other guy, they keep saying someone else was in critical condition, and I don't know. Like, to me, that means he could be paralyzed. He could be really ill. He could, we don't know what that means. Like, I hope he has a full recovery. Yeah. Because, it's just awful. It's really traumatic. I don't feel like we've had something like, it's only happened like 20 years ago. It doesn't really happen very often, something like this. So, all right, guys, that's the Spill the Tea segment for today. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. I'll be back next week. We'll chat. We'll be back. Don't forget to leave 5 stars, rate a review, and follow me on Instagram. Love you guys. Bye.